My name is Tom. What is the best ammunition for self-defense? That question comes up a lot. First of all, we have to talk about the company. Double Tap real briefly. They produce high pressure ammunition, among the highest pressure ammunition available in the world. Now, with that said, this is a new innovative product, and I'm excited to bring you this video. It took a lot of work, and because two is better than one, we're going to be shooting two projectiles out of one cartridge. Now, Tammy's here. Please zoom in here, and I want to explain to you what's going on. We're going to go to the range, and I'm going to shoot this at 5 feet, 10 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet, and show you how these two projectiles separate. First of all, look at the top box here, Tammy, and that's what we have here, okay? We have 190 grain. This happens to be 10 millimeter. It comes in all the major calibers. Two projectiles coming out of one cartridge. And with double tap being high pressure, it's moving fast. Okay, so in this case, we have 190 grains, and the way it breaks down is this. The jacketed hollow point, which is 135 grains, is moving out of that barrel, and then behind it, on the 190 grain product, you've got a 55 grain disc. Now, if you notice the lead here on the disc, what it does is these two projectiles, look close there, please, Tammy, zoom in. These two projectiles come out of your barrel at once, obviously, and we're going to look at the separation in this test I'm doing at different distances. But the hollow point does what it's supposed to do. It's going to open up, and it's going to do some nasty damage, and it's going to turn into razor blades. Then the second projectile has soft lead, which gets all sharp and nasty, and if it hits a bone, it's going to really tumble and do all sorts of stuff inside your attacker in self-defense. This ammunition is also available for hunters. There's a different division for the self-defense, and there's a different division of ammunition. You have to go to Double Tap's website. They have the hunter ammunition and the self-defense. I'm focusing in on the self-defense ammo. But because it's so powerful, it's even good enough for hunting with two projectiles. Now, that's the 190 grain. Okay, and notice disc. You see the disc. It's the best way. Can you see that there, Tammy? Please zoom in. Half lead. This is the second projectile behind your hollow point. Here's a close-up look of what we got. You've got your casing. You've got your disc on the 190 grain for self-defense. And then you've got your jacketed hollow point. 135 total jacketed hollow point. 55 total grains on the disc, moving at a whopping 1,210 feet per second and 10 millimeter. Now, what you can also do is get the 230 grain, but I want to show you there's a difference. Okay, so the 230 grain moving at 1,040 feet per second, you've got the same 135 grain jacketed hollow point. Okay? But behind it is a soft 95 grain lead ball. And this, if it hits bone or if it even flesh, it's going to mush up, and it's soft, and it's going to do massive amount of damage. So two is better than one. Really innovative stuff. Now what I want to do is go to the range right now and show you the difference of distances of how they separate. Not that it really matters all that much, because even if they don't separate and you hit your bad guy who's trying to kill you at a 7-Eleven at 3 feet, you've still got 2 projectiles hitting the bad guy, and the bottom one immediately goes south. It starts going down. So then you have two rounds going through the bad guy doing nasty damage. And that's what it does on either one, the 190 or the 230. So you've either got the disc behind the hollow point, the small disc, which will rotate and flop and flip around and hit bone and turn into basically shrapnel, and you can have the option of the 230 grain. Now let's go to the range. What I'm going to do, here's a target that we're going to start at 5 feet, then we're going to go to different lengths, and then we're going to come back and we're going to discuss how these projectiles separate at different lengths. That's the test. But I want to make you aware of this high pressure. Make sure your gun can handle it. This is not for a low-cost gun. This is for the real deal high-end gun that can handle it. Okay, let's go to the range right now. Let's start it out with just one shot at 3 feet, and then I'll go further and further. Well, so far we have no separation. Okay, let's go to 5 feet. I find this interesting. Let's see if it separates the further I get out. Okay, now let's go out to 10 feet and see if we... Studio. Okay, we're at 15 feet. Start seeing some separation. It's a good test. 20 feet now, and we should see some good separation now. There you go. Look at that. Feet. Look at that. There's the hollow point where I was aiming, and that's where the disc went. We'll talk about this in the studio. Now, double tap ammunition. Remember, when you shoot it, it's going to have a lot more recoil than what you're accustomed to because it's such quality high pressure ammo. And like I said earlier, make sure your gun can handle it. You can always call the manufacturer and say, can you handle plus P ammo? With that said, by the way, they do make Ted Nugent's ammunition. His name is on their ammunition. And also, all the Colt ammunition made is made by Double Tap. With that said, let's go to the targets. Okay. Now, I started at 3 feet. And by the way, the guns I used was two 1911s. I went back and forth, and I used Iver Johnson 6-inch, 10mm, 1911. I shot both the 230 grain and the 190 grain, and I started at 3 feet. So at 3 feet, you can't expect too much of a separation, and I shot them twice. Let's go to 5 feet. Now, this one here I shot once. If you look really close, you can tell it's a bigger hole than normal because the second projectile is starting to do more collateral damage there. And then we go to 10 feet. I shot this a couple times, and you can see, look close here, one of these is with the ball and one of these is with the disc. I don't remember which is which, but it really don't matter because anyone behind this round with double tap pressures and 2 projectiles, one behind the other, and a hollow point up front, I think you've accomplished saving your life. So this is at 10 feet. So you've got a little bit of separation. And like I said, in the gel test, what these 2 projectiles do is the second projectile, whether it be the ball or the disc, goes south. It goes down about an inch. It goes in about 2 inches and then it starts going south. So by the time it's 6 inches, they're 3 inches apart. The top and bottom, whether it's a ball or a disc. We're going to do gel test when I fly out to Double Tap's home base out there. But I wanted to do this on boards because I wanted to show you the separation. And you got 2 massive rounds hitting there at 10 feet. Now let's go to 15 feet. And we can see more separation further you go out. So we know in self-defense the areas of the bad guy that you want to hit, whether it's the chest, face, and this is going to double everything up because 2 is better than 1, especially with the speeds that double tap produces, especially with a hollow point up front, a disc in the back, or the ball on the back. That's up to you. The question's going to come up, which one do you use? The answer is, I use a 190, then a 230, then a 190, then a 230, and my 10 millimeters for self-defense. So, let's go to 20 feet. And I shot this a number of times. I remember this was the first shot. I'm like, not much of a separation. That was out of the 6-inch Ivor Johnson. Then I shot it again, and then there we go. But you see how you got 2 projectiles going. So this is the normal length of a gunfight, right? 20 feet. Now if you go out to 30 feet, here's 2 different shots to show you the separation. So in this case, we've got a nice separation here of about an inch, inch and a half, and in this case, a larger separation, and I like that because in reality, and saving your life, you might pull the trigger 3 or 4 times. So if you miss with this one hits. If you miss with this one hits. You want a tight group? You know, you've got the rounds doing different things, which is moving from an inch to 2.5 inches or so at 30 feet. And if we look between 20 and 30 feet, which is where most gunfights happen to save your life, you can see that it's either going to be really tight at 20 feet or it's going to be pretty close, and you got all these things tumbling and doing their nasty stuff inside the bad guy. Now let's go to 50 feet, and it gets even more interesting here. This shot was like that. Those 2, still pretty tight. And then this one, I remember this one was out of the Kimber. Look how far away that is. So if you were somehow to shoot left, at least you got this one hitting. There you go. New innovative ammunition. Both of them with speeds that supersede the competition. I've been a Double Tap fan way a decade before my channel, and I've got the old boxes to prove it. I've showed them in older videos. Double Tap is my choice for personal protection. You don't need a lot of it. You need enough to keep your gun loaded, and you need enough to also shoot your gun to make sure it can handle it. The high pressure. This is the real deal. This is as high quality ammunition that's available in the world, for that matter, right now. Double tap. And Ted Nugent trusts it. Yeah, Ted's a good guy. Colt trusts it. And now we have ammunition that shoots 2 bullets with 1 pull of the trigger. My name is Tom. Please subscribe. Thumb up the video. And if you're going to subscribe, ring that bell so that way you get notifications and you know I'm putting up new videos. I'm doing a lot of things behind the scenes for our gun rights. I care about all of you. Thumb up the video. And this one took a lot of work. I hope you appreciate it. Thank you, my friends. I care about all of you. Bye-bye.